My favourite questions at the moment is, do you think we live in a healthy world?
People are losing touch with nature and they're missing out. Although lockdown has been horrific, it has enabled people to reconnect with the spaces in their local area, but has also highlighted lots of areas in Bradford where people don't have like an amazing place like this to come and spend some time. The quality of the green spaces does vary quite drastically dependent on where in our district you are. So thinking about health of communities who live in urban areas, they're up against a lot more challenges than families who live in more affluent areas. Using research with our Born in Bradford families, we found impact of green space on depression during pregnancy. So we found that mums who are living in the greenest parts of Bradford are experiencing around 20% less likelihood of having really severe depression compared to mums in the least green. We've also found that it's got links to birth weight of babies, which is an indicator of health in later life.
Green spaces and parks in Bradford, many of them are being redeveloped.
It just looks more beautiful because it's got so much more detail now in it. Before it was just like a bland park. I'd like to see like a playground maybe for little children.
The spaces that we've got, we need to start doing work to them to make them more interesting and appealing to families so they don't see the alternative as staying at home.
Yesterday my dad bought me a new bike and I came today to go to build it.
Do you enjoy cycling? What we say to kids is soft like an orange on the side, on the top hard like an apple.
Okay, soft like orange.
Hard like an apple.
There's just a lot more infrastructure for cycling now than there ever was, and this is a really good time to start getting on your bike.
But we know it can be difficult to get on a bike or walk to school. We've got a very ingrained sort of car culture.
The cities of the contemporary world are not generally healthy. And that's actually the next step. How do we make healthy cities? And also, how do we give everyone a place to recognise that we've all got a place in that healthy city?
Why do I come here?
I feel like I need to be outdoors, to be honest. I love connecting with plants and people and wildlife.
Yeah, I'd like to come here a lot more. First and foremost, we just want to make sure we preserve this place and that it doesn't fall into disuse and it's not sold off for just more buildings. The motivation has been concerned with environmental problems.
You know, we're struggling with our air pollution quality, but if we're in a green space, then the air quality is much better. I'm very into food systems and thinking about where our food comes from and how we can improve how we find our food.
Can we try this? Can we grow this? So it's just mentally also the fact that you've grown something, you're anticipating a positive outcome.
It will reduce obesity, it will prevent diabetes. More than 12% of the Bradford population is diabetic. We also need to teach families how to shop and cook, and we also have to consider cost effectiveness.
But we also want a lot more community involvement to make it more accessible to the public.
And I think wherever we live, we have a part to play in our society, in what it looks like.
I personally would hope that we can be a bit of a model for how we can regenerate any of the more derelict spaces in the city.
If we want to make real change within our city, we need to move away from this individual approach where we're relying on people to make the changes. We need to take a step back and look at what's happening across the city and look at what's happening at a systems level. Looking at where communities live and getting rid of fast food swamps where there's a takeaway around every corner, which makes it really hard for families to keep healthy and tempts children on their way to and from schools. Looking at the transport infrastructure, investing in cycling infrastructure. We need to be making sure that everybody has a decent quality urban green space within a 5 to 10 minute walk of their local areas.
Health means not just a healthy body, not just a healthy mind, it means a healthy environment and a healthy culture.
Humans are part of these systems and how we plan and develop them is really key for our future.
Communities are going to be so key in driving the change here.
I've got a question for you. How are you going to save the world, man?
We only want to make hopla, we don't want to go war. We only want to make hopla, we don't want to go war. Only make hopla, we don't want to